Opinions expressed on the Tuddle Daily Podcast are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent those of our sponsors.
What's going on, everybody?
It's called free speech, people. Nobody's forcing you to listen. Get ready for your daily dose of Tuddle.
The all-time greatest intern/producer we've ever had, of course, Tuddle. Tuddle in Florida.
From the Hobo Fish Camp, it's the Tuddle Daily Podcast.
No wonder nobody likes you, Tuddle. Everything's a goddamn debate.
All right, guys, what's going on? Greetings and welcome to another edition of the Tuddle Daily Podcast for November 8th, 2022. A couple of ways you can get a hold of me, 407-270-3044. I take all your phone calls. I don't get pissed off at any of you guys. I want to call in and tell me I suck, or, you know, I screwed up with Bubba, or I hated you on the Monsters, or I kind of liked you on Ron and Fez. You're going to go straight to the front of the line. Call me, 407-270-3044. You guys can also email me, Tuddle. It's Tuddle with 2 Ds, Tuddle @gmail.com. And I read a lot of people's messages in the chat room. Miss MLT, how are you? Miss LMT says, hello, Tuddle. And then my producer, Vulture, he gave me an LC, which stands for Lima Charlie. I'm sounding loud and clear. You know, because I had not done the show for a little while, and I was a little rusty yesterday. I mean, when I was in the full swing of things, when I first built this new studio that I have, I was having all types of audio issues. And then I finally got it figured out. It was that fancy, smancy little video intro that I was playing at the beginning of the show. I just guess my computer could not handle it. So, thank you for joining me tonight. I've been spending all day. I'm glad that Miss LMT, bam, throwing down Miss LMT. Miss LMT, have you ever watched the show before or tuned into the show? Because I'm pretty good at remembering a lot of people that watch the show. And you seem like you're new to the content that I'm putting out and stuff. So I really, really appreciate the $20 going to the cause. Thank you, Miss LMT. But I worked my regular day job, working remotely here, recruiting employees for a great company. But then I also, I had to get ready. I went out and I filled up my dad's Ford F-150, filled it up because we got a storm coming. It's November. I mean, I know that it's only going to be a Category 1, but the ground is just already saturated here. It's been raining pretty much on and off since after lunch. And it's all starting to build up already. It's already starting to build up. And the beach erosion is just going to be absolutely horrible. There's actually a couple of condos in Daytona Beach, multi-story, like 10, maybe 20 stories, maybe 10 to 15 stories, that the beach has been eroded already from Ian, and now we got this hurricane. It's going to be a Category 1 when it hits Florida. Volusia County, where I live, is going to be on the... You know what? I don't even know why. I just need to play the video. Iggy T. What up, Iggy T? How are you, my friend? Cowhead stole your radio career. What's up, Tuddle? Haven't seen you in a week. Where have you been? I talked about that last night on the show. I talked about that last night on the show, and I was going through some stuff. I just was in a funk. So I took a step back a little bit, concentrated on the job that's paying the bills. And even though I missed it, what I do here in radio, that's my passion. That's what I love to do. But I gotta be responsible and stuff. I just gotta be. And if you probably maybe even 3 years ago, if you would have asked me that, oh, are you going to be responsible or are you going to do a radio show? I would be like, I'm going to do the radio show. Trust me, I hated missing those shows. I think maybe I did 2 shows in 2 weeks. And my plan is to try to do a show every single day this week, permitting that the storm doesn't take out my internet or power. I mean, I'm just saying. So, Miss LMT, I listened last night for the first time live. Listen to all your podcast shows. Big fan. Wow. Thank you, Miss LMT. And Iggy's welcoming Miss MLT. Iggy T. Miss Iggy, is this you? Are you just trying to make me feel good or whatever? Because I see the T at the end. Miss LMT, Iggy T. I don't think that's the case. But if either way, thank you, Iggy, for welcoming Miss LMT. And if it's the other side of it, thank you for trying to make me seem like I'm bigger than I am with you talking to yourself. I'm just saying, okay? Sorry. See, that is why I go to therapy. That is why I go to therapy, because I'll tell you why I go to therapy, because I can't take compliments. And when things are going well for me, guess what? I can't enjoy it. I can't enjoy the good days. I just can't, because you want to know why? Because the first thing that I'm thinking about when I'm in a happy situation where I'm like, oh man, things are great, I'm like, what's going to happen? When's the other shoe going to drop? When is all this castle made of dopamine going to come crashing down at any minute? So, yeah, I know that doesn't make any sense, but that's just the way my brain works. So I've been dealing with this. I went out and got gas. Tomorrow I got to bring in all the patio furniture and stuff, because we are dealing with it's a hurricane. I mean, let's just throw it out there. So I'm gonna toss it over to Cam Tran.
Good afternoon. I'm meteorologist Cam Tran with the latest on Tropical Storm Nicole. Right now, it has 60 miles per hour winds. And
if I'm being upfront, was not the biggest Cam Tran fan when Cam Tran fan. Cam Tran fan. I am now a Cam Tran fan. You know what? I need to tweet that to her. Cam Tran fan. I think there's some marketing right there that we could do it. Vulture, my producer. Imagine me with your daily idiosyncrasies. Yeah. Yeah. Welcome to my world. Welcome to my world. What up, Fish on J? Fish on J says, yo, 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 yo. Sup, everyone. You know, that's what I love about the chat room, is that I really do think everybody gets along. I for the most part, everybody in the chat room gets along. And I know that I don't have that big of a following and stuff, but at the same time, like when I was working on Bubba the Love Sponge show on the Twitch chat, there was so much beef. Might as well have been in the state of Texas. There was so much beef. Yeah, everybody hated everybody on Twitch. There was so much Twitch beef in the Bubba army. And I know that it's gotten better and stuff, but for the most part, everybody that is in the chat room here actually is really, really cool. Fish on Jay, I'm just, you know what? I'm just going to put your comment up on the screen. I'm not going to read it, but I concur. I really do. We really, I would. Sorry. Dave Bowers, we're going to get at least 3 to 4 days of rain from the storm. Yeah, it's already started, people. And it's not even that bad yet, and the water is already accumulating on the ground. Because, like I said earlier, the ground is just so saturated, and I just feel bad for a lot of people.
Pressure down to 992 millibar, moving off to the west at 9 miles per hour in the center circulation is about 400 miles off the coast of the state of Florida. We are seeing this system getting better organized as we speak as it continues to move westward. It is expected, in fact, to strengthen to a Category 1 hurricane by Wednesday evening. And
man, Camtrans built like an hourglass. Holy hourglass.
And then make landfall likely as a Category 1 hurricane off the coast of Brevard and Indian River counties. It will weaken as it moves over the peninsula and then move northeastward toward the state of Georgia by Friday. So it is picking up in speed. But I want to show you a closer look at that cone here. You see all of Central Florida still in that cone there with Tropical Storm Nicole.
Okay, so look at this. Well, you can't see my cursor. Wait a minute. Vulture. Are you serious? Are you kidding me? Because I was not going to be one of those people that was going to be like, "Oh yeah, Chris is going to win." I thought DeSantis was going to high step it in like it was goddamn Deion Sanders up in Tallahassee for the win. And you're telling me right now at 7:11 p.m., November 8th, 2022, it's 50% DeSantis, 49% Chris, early polls. Hold on. Let me finish this story. Do you see here in Volusia? Because now, if I'm being honest, Vulture, I'm kind of worried. But do you see the red right there where Daytona Beach, that county where Daytona Beach is in? I'm in the red area.
Here's a look at the latest advisory. We have a hurricane watch in effect for coastal Volusia County or coastal Flagler County. For Volusia County, coastal areas under hurricane warning, as well as Brevard County, entire Brevard County under that hurricane warning. Tropical storm warnings in effect for interior Volusia, as well as Seminole, Orange, Lake, and Osceola counties. Taking a look at the impacts that we are expecting from Tropical Storm Nicole. Beach erosion is on the very high side. Wind gusts also on the high side.
That is definitely something that they do not need in Volusia County.
Flooding a medium concern, and the threat for severe weather is low, but not no.
All right. I'm not going to be one of those alarmists and stuff, but DeSantis is only being up 1% on Chris right now. That really has me concerned. It just hold on, Iggy. I'll answer this before I get into that. All right, so Iggy, so beach sand doesn't have a lot of material to hold it together, okay? So what ends up happening when a hurricane comes in, it creates really big waves and it pushes the water up against the coastline. So when it usually the water wouldn't be at one point, Iggy, the hurricane's pushing the water in. And Mussy, I'll get to your comment because that's what I'm afraid of. So the beach erosion, more water's coming into where water usually isn't, and it's washing the sand back into the ocean. So it's eating away. I've always said this. Well, I didn't say it originally. First time I heard this saying was water always wins. was on the TV show Doctor Who. Water does always win. Look at what water did to the Grand Canyon. That's the only example that I need to show you. So when water gets pushed into the state of Florida, which it is the flattest state in the United States, it's going to erode and the water's going to come up on shore and take more and more of the beach back out into the ocean. It's reclaiming all of this soot, sand, soil, whatever it may be. It's getting back into the ocean. It's there. Now, Musty brings up a lot of warm water still out there. Musty bets that it's going to be a category 2. I have a general concern about that because the water is still extremely warm in that area. It's shallow water. It heats up, does not cool off as quickly. So my fear is that, the weather forecasters, even though technology has gotten better and stuff, they still don't know. They really, really don't know. So I got a bad fear about that. Fozzie now says DeSantis 51%. At the Bubba Army checking in. Hey, brother. So back to the election. My fear is that, all right, kid, I'm making a mental note right now. I'll make that happen. My fear is that if somehow, some way, Chris beats Ron DeSantis, I am actually a little concerned about what may happen. What type of Vulture, I am going to do the hurricane cam will start tomorrow, by the way, because it's actually coming into Volusia County. But what I'm concerned about with the DeSantis thing, if he loses, what's going to happen? Fozzie says it's a blue wave. Fozzie, hey Fozzie, can you call in and be my political correspondent, please? Because I can't look up. I just would like for you to call in. I would like for you to call in and just tell me, because you said blue wave. I would like to hear. But I'm shocked that DeSantis isn't high-stepping it in for victory. But Fozzie, call in 407-270-3044. Nah, well, I mean, I like Fozzie. Say what you want. Fozzie's entertaining. Ron DeSantis won Dade County. I mean, that's population-wise, I'm pretty sure that's the biggest county. I mean, now, biggest county by landmass, city-wise, is Jacksonville. Man, this is crazy. You know what? While we are on the political thing, I really love this story that NBC News did. Oh, here he is. Oh. Fozzie. Hold on. Connecting. Oh, sorry, I don't know what happened there. Hold on. Let me, that was unknown. Whoever was just calling in, call back in, please. But I wanted to talk about this. And I'm not talking about any political side at all. I'm talking about, I really think these senators need a term limits. They really do need term limits. And I love that we possibly could have a Gen Z candidate make it to the Senate. And they got 2 candidates, and they're both on each side, Republican and Democratic. One of them is local here in Florida.
5 years ago, Titanic debuted in theaters.
You've got mail.
AOL launched Instant Messenger. And the very first members of Gen Z were born in 1997. Now, for the first time, finally eligible to serve in Congress. Like Maxwell Frost, whose 25th birthday.
I'm sorry. I like Maxwell Frost, and I know that I'll most likely get disappointed because I've always said I just don't trust politicians. I don't like them at all.
Day was in January. He's the front runner to win his district in Central Florida and head to the House of Representatives, where the average age of his potential congressional colleagues is 58.
Did you ever come across anybody who said, hey, wait your turn, you're too young, you don't have enough experience?
100%. Yeah, many people who said that.
During his campaign, Frost took midnight shifts as an Uber driver to help pay rent after leaving his job working for the March for Our Lives campaign.
Now, okay. I'm a firm supporter of the Second Amendment. This is the only thing I don't agree with Maxwell Frost.
Created after the 2018 school shooting in Parkland, Florida. The Pulse nightclub attack in 2016.
I've been here at like 1 a.m. just to kind of ground myself.
Come and touch base. And...
Yeah.
By the way, I have not looked into this. Is Maxwell Frost gay? And I don't have a problem with it. I can't vote for him, but if I could vote for Maxwell Frost, I would. I just don't agree with him on the Second Amendment stuff. But like, he's at polls now, and if you saw earlier in the interview, he had the rainbow flag behind him, which is great. It's awesome. But you know, a lot of people are like, "Oh man, hey, is Maxwell Frost gay?" Doesn't matter to me. I think he's a cool ass dude. Besides the whole Second Amendment thing.
Almost in his own backyard.
You know, gun violence has been my leading charge in my life ever since Sandy Hook, and just it hitting home.
This is a problem that can't be solved. It just can't be solved. And you can create all the laws you want to in the world about the Second Amendment. Nothing's going to change. It is just not going to change. So stop wasting your time. You're better off relying on concentrating on mental illness, mental health. Because there's so many guns out there right now. You're never going to be able to take them all away. And you're never even going to get to the point where you're going to like stop some of this stuff. It's just not going to happen. So stop it. Stop it. I'm trying to quote Mike McDaniels yelling at Justin Fields on the sideline. Stop it. Stop scrambling on my team for first downs. So it's just not going to happen. Oh, and guess what? Criminals, you can create all the laws in the world. Guess what? Criminals do not obey laws.
It was a lot for everyone in our community. So
I imagine this was part of that big impetus for you to decide to make this run to Congress.
yeah, I mean, it's definitely part of it.
Gun reform ranks as one of the top issues for Gen Z voters, below climate change, threats to democracy, abortion access, and the economy. It's a generation more liberal than any other, with exceptions, of course. Caroline Levitt is a 25-year-old.
I just read Vulture says the way he said Hook is suspect. And like I said, if he is, it does not change my opinion. I still, even though he's anti-gun and stuff, I still think he's a cool dude. I think he's actually one to make some change. And I really do think we need to get some young blood in there. We have to start getting some young blood in there because the people in there right now, they are on life support. They are so out of touch of what's going on in our country right now that they really do. Term limits. Listen, if a president was running on term limits, by the way, president can never run on that platform because he won't win. Nobody will support him. Nobody wants to, fuck up their own deal. So it's not going to happen. We are screwed here in America. I'm sorry.
Former Trump White House staffer, running in her home state of New Hampshire.
I live amongst Generation C. They are my friends. They are my former colleagues. And the truth is, they are.
I would. Can we do a quick poll here in the chat room for the guys, for the boys that are in the chat room right now? Would you? And I got to be careful with what I'm saying, but Caroline, would you? I would love to hear from you in the chat room. Would you? And I'm just going to leave it at that. If you don't get what I'm saying, then you just don't know. And if you know, you know. But would you? Yeah, I would.
Believing in liberal ideologies that have sent this country into the crises we're facing right now.
She was attacked during her Republican primary for her age.
Woke, immature, and irresponsible.
Okay, so the Bubba Army ban guns and ceiling fans. You know what? I'm not even going. I'm just moving on. But seriously, fuck you. Fish on Jay around the farm and on top of the tractor. Yeah, I think she is. I'm sorry. I have a problem when politicians, Democrat, Republican, when they're using the word woke. Woke. I've been hearing the word woke coming out of way too many politicians' mouths. Why are you guys talking about woke? Why? Fozzie. Fozzie says, I'd let her have a crack at my hanging Chad, if you will. But I don't know if I can vote for a politician that uses the word woke.
Frankly, I just laughed at those attacks.
If Leavitt wins next week, she'd be the youngest member of Congress, the youngest woman, and the youngest election-denying Republican in office.
Is she married? That's what. Because you only got to be 25. Boy, oh boy. Her being on the Republican side. Because let's be honest here, okay? I see what Fox News does. They lean conservative. And you know what they do? They, which is smart, they're working completely smart. All their shows, if they got females, women, ladies, they're on a couch, you can see the legs. And they're working smart. The conservatives or Republicans are the horniest out of the big two. They are. Republicans are horny as fuck. They just are. Can you imagine how many bills Caroline could get passed? I'm not making accusations that she's going to sleep her way around. No, because conservative Republican, especially males, are horny. They're horny. She can get a bill passed.
No, there's no evidence of widespread fraud in 2020.
Will you accept the results of your own election?
Of course, yeah, absolutely.
Even if you lose, you'd accept those results?
Yeah, I would accept the results.
Man, I think, Fozzie. Fozzie said Republican candidates are a smoke show. And Fozzie, if you will, says, is so hot. Musty gave the laughing, crying emoji, sideways head there.
Results because I think, we have to move forward.
Younger people historically have not turned out to vote in big numbers, but this year could be different, with a new poll showing more than a third of Gen Zers saying they'll definitely cast a ballot.
I don't know if we're going to see a red wave. I'm not sure if we're going to see a blue wave. What I do know is we're going to see...
I saw some red waves in the toilet when I was married.
A Gen Z wave.
So if there is a Gen Z wave...
Yeah, Fozzie. See, Fozzie, those were early numbers. I was shocked when they were saying 50 to 49. DeSantis is pulling away at 54%. I mean, I'm not shocked. I knew it was going to happen. We all knew that was going to happen. I did want to talk about this story. Let's get off of politics and stuff. This poor son of a bitch. His house burned down. His house burned down, and guess
figure out exactly what fell.
This happened in Nevada. A guy's house was hit by a meteor. And the first thing that I thought of is that, the insurance companies were, Fozzie. Fozzie asked Tuddle, did you vote? Yes, I did. I did. I'm not a felon. I got my updated license. I got my Social Security card. I don't do mail-in ballots. I like to go day of. Because I remember the first time I got to vote in the small town of DeLeon Springs, Florida. I went with my mom at the age of 18. She walked me through the whole process. In DeLeon Springs, you actually vote in the Lions Club. And it was a little nerve-wracking at first. As an 18-year-old kid, I also think that the older people that are working the polling booths kind of add to it. Because when they see an 18-year-old kid coming in voting for the first time, they make such a big deal out of it. And I get it. I get it why they do that. I remember all the blue hairs, all the ladies. They were just the guys, you're doing your civic duty. And I loved it. I love that feeling. And I've always voted in person, day of. I don't do early voting. There's just something about doing it on the designated day. Dave Bowers, yeah, I agree with you. They are all corrupt. They are. But yes, I did vote today. I'm not gonna say who I voted for and stuff, but because a lot of people think that I would vote liberal or I'm liberal leaning. No, you would actually be pretty shocked. You would. I mean, Fozzie did. They did, Fozzie. Fozzie said they pit you over big time. They did. They pit me over big time. So back to the story that I was wanting to talk about. This guy's house burned down, and now come to find out, his house got hit by a goddamn meteor.
Are happening right now to figure out exactly what fell from the sky in Northern California. This is video KCRA3 obtained of this last night. Now you can see that ball of light falling through the night sky, lighting.
The insurance adjuster, his insurance agent is going to be a complete dick. He's going to be like, well, you know what, Mr. Such and Such, you don't have meteor insurance. Nothing. We can't do anything for you. Can't do anything for you.
It up. Many people across our region saw this themselves and called in. Now, one investigation tonight is in Nevada County by the Penn Valley Fire Department.
Miss LMT says, wow, talk about bad luck. And David Bowers, does insurance cover that? That insurance companies look for any reason to not have to pay.
Department looking into if that bright ball, possibly a meteorite, landed on a home and started a fire. KCRA3's Michelle Bandour is live in Nevada County, where she talked with that man who was at his house when the house.
By the way, this guy I would love to hang out with. Alcoholic Tuddle, partying Tuddle would have loved to hang out with this dude that his house was hit by a meteorite.
Caught on fire. Michelle, how was he doing tonight?
Well, Brittany, he doesn't know if he should consider himself lucky or unlucky, and Dustin Procida said he didn't know really what hit his home until after fire crews put the fire out, and then witnesses who were coming forward.
It was a heavy rotation there.
Who were actually following the bright ball in the sky to see where it actually landed here. And the Penn Valley Fire Department says it appears it landed right on Prosida's home when he was actually inside with his two dogs. It's quiet here in this secluded area of Nevada County.
People around here are multi-generational cattle farmers or ranchers.
Rolling hills where cattle graze.
Oh, there. Yep. Look at the cows.
Where nothing happens.
Heard a big bang. I started to smell smoke, and I went onto my porch.
Dude, I know your house burned down, and I know you had the soot and probably all that stuff on your face. But couldn't you have, like, splashed some water on your face before you got on TV? I'm just saying, but this guy, I love his swagger. He just does not give he doesn't give a fuck.
And it was completely engulfed in flames.
Until Friday night.
Wide open spaces. This was out on kind of a farm, cattle ranch area. And yeah, not much around it.
It appears that this bright ball of light, which lit up the dark north.
I mean, I always see meteorites when I'm out walking at night and stuff. And I'm like, when you see them, you're like, oh, man, that's cool. But you don't think, oh, man, did that fall on something?
Northern California sky around 7:30 landed in the middle of nowhere.
What do you think hit your house?
They said it was a meteor. I've always watched meteor showers and stuff as a kid, but I definitely didn't look forward to them landing in my yard or through my roof.
I did not see what it was, but from everybody I talked to, it was a flaming ball falling from the sky and landing.
It seems like a good excuse, trying to cover up a meth lab explosion. Oh, man, there ain't no meth here. That old meteorite hit my home.
Into that general area.
The Penn Valley Fire Department, along with CAL FIRE, battled the flames for hours.
Meteorite, asteroid, one of.
You know what this just reminded me of? Do you guys remember the horror movie Creep Show? The original one, not Creep Show 2. But Stephen King actually, I think he starred in one of the segments. It was like Tales from the Crypt and stuff. But Stephen King, and there was a meteorite that actually crash landed, and the guy touched it, and he brought it home, and all the liquid and stuff, it just started growing vegetation like this, alien vegetation. That was a creepy ass segment. I'm not going anywhere near a meteorite that comes. No. I'm not doing it.
And are now investigating what started the fire in this rural area.
Well, I had one individual tell me about it first, and like, okay, I'll put that in the back of my mind. But then more people, 2, 3, 4 more started coming in and talking about it.
Oh, wow.
Now, wait, well, watch it. All right. So the reporter handed this dude his phone or her phone. So you look at it, he's holding the phone in his right hand. If you look in the left hand, he's got a heater. He is burning a heater during a local TV news broadcast.
Man, that looked like a flaming basketball coming out of this guy.
Proceed to watch.
All right, see there. Look at how I know that the guy's house just burned down, but man, in the news, the guy's holding a cigarette in his left hand, looking at the video of the meteorite that allegedly burned down his house. This dude reminds me of the dad that was a coal miner up in Kentucky and promised to bring his kid to the Kentucky Wildcats basketball game or something. That's, Vulture, weed is legal in Nevada. Holy crap. Great catch. That is. Did the news interview somebody while smoking a joint during the news? I mean, if it's legal in Nevada, then I guess it's not that big of a deal. But Vulture, good call. Yes, now looking at that is definitely a joint.
The video for the first time when we showed it to him.
Definitely feel very lucky that it was 30 feet away from me and not 5.
And as Procida and his wife pick up the pieces of what's left of
that definitely looks like a meth house burned down.
Their home, they know they could have lost much more and realize the odds may be in their favor.
They said it's a 1 in 4 trillion chance.
Go play the lottery.
So I guess I might be buying a lottery ticket today.
No. See, I do still have a lot of stuff, and I do have to get out of here. But on tomorrow's show, I'm going to talk about the Powerball, the lottery. There are some things that are not adding up when it comes to this Powerball. Somebody won the Powerball today in California. One person. They don't know if it was like a pool or not, but last night they could not do the drawing because of one state didn't have their shit together. And guess what state that was? California. Guess where the winner of this $2 billion jackpot is from? California. Does anybody else find this a little bit curious? And I hate to be conspiracy theory guy, but it just is weird. And I know that I'm not the only one talking about this right now. You didn't do the drawing last night because of a mess up by California, but the one person out of the whole country that won it is from California. Things that make you go, man, I screwed that up. Things that make you say, yeah. I'm just saying. Well, I know a lot of people are going to talk about it, and it looks fishy. So I'm going to get out of here, guys. I want to thank everybody that checked out tonight's show. If you listen to the audio version of the podcast, you can listen to the Tuddle Daily Podcast live stream, 7 p.m. every night, twitch.tv/Tuddle on the radio, youtube.com/Tuddle on the radio. But if you're watching the live stream now, or you're watching it on any of the streaming platforms, and you want to check out the archive, I got over 700 shows, audio downloads that you can get. It's on iHeartRadio, Spotify, and iTunes Radio. Just search the Tuddle Daily Podcast. I'm getting out of here, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed tonight's show. Hopefully you guys stay safe, and I will talk to you tomorrow.